Did you know gods of death love apples? But they don't love terrible versions done by Americans of critically acclaimed anime. Light and the characters of this movie are living in Seattle, in America. I wasn't concerned with the few name changes. I wasn't concerned with the location changes. We already have a live-action, authentic Japanese version of Death Note. So none of those facts or details mattered to me. I went into it expecting those differences to transpire. But let me get into why I was dissatisfied with the way this movie went. Okay, so Light is being bullied at the beginning of the movie. You see Ryuk pressuring Light to use the Death Note and urging him to. With that said, we obviously know that's not how it went in the movie, or in the anime rather, but let me digress. Light uses the Death Note. He eventually meets up with this girl Mia. Mia is just a normal teenager at the high school with Light. She doesn't resemble Misa as what you would expect her to, being as all they had to do was give her blonde hair and a poppy personality, but that was something I suppose I could have gotten over, but as we went further into the movie, those things became harder and harder to ignore. So Mia and Light fall in love, and what happens is Mia ends up pressuring Light to keep using the Death Note more and more. She ends up being way more obsessed with the Death Note and the killing than Light is at all. Light even becomes hesitant. Now, let me draw back a little bit and let's go to some personality things. Okay, Light's personality in this movie, he has no sophistication whatsoever. He's supposed to be super intelligent and on top of things and cunning, and that's just not really the case. At least that's not how he was portrayed to me. Not only that, but he didn't have this huge vision, this ideology driving him with passion. And as I said, to me, he wasn't the detective, the intelligent type that you would expect. He drops the F-bomb several times in the movie, and to me the personality totally clashes and totally defies everything that Light Yagami is about. And again, Mia is so driven. She wants to do this whole Death Note thing. She wants to be the god of a new world, and she is obsessed with it. As we know, that's not how Misa is in the anime or the manga. She is all about Kira and Light. From there, the story just gets further and further away from what the original story was. Add in an 80s soundtrack, subtract the tone and seriousness, the detective work, the battle of wits between L and Light throughout the whole series, and what you end up with is a product that is totally different from the anime that we know and love. We have subtracted the character development. Character development is almost non-existent as the movie is rushed. So without that character development, we don't have that tendency to sometimes lean towards what Light is going for and then lean back towards what L is going for. Because I know a lot of people personally who were on Light's side throughout the anime. Me personally, I was on his side for a little while, and then I turned to L's side throughout the series. But because of the great character development and the great pacing and the great storytelling and the details, you're able to see both sides of the story, and you're able to kind of pick your own version of justice. That is severely lacking in this movie. As I said, it's rushed, the pacing is terrible, and from what I saw, they just didn't put much into the fact that this is going to be a movie and this is a huge story that is going to have to be explained within a short period of time and still be a good movie. Personally, here are my thoughts. Netflix, you should have made this a series. You should have made it a series that was almost identical to the anime, almost episode for episode, almost word for word, because let me tell you why. The anime was not a typical anime. It wasn't an anime with mecha. It wasn't an anime with Kamehameha waves. It wasn't an anime with laser beams. It wasn't an anime with largely ridiculous plot lines. This was an anime that was almost a crime show. With the exception of the involvement of the Gods of Death, which is, not really the bulk of the show, this could have easily been a series on Netflix. And my God, a series of episodes on Netflix. What an idea. That's kind of their thing. So why they chose to rush this complicated story into a 1 hour and something movie is beyond me. I feel that William Dafoe was amazing. He was phenomenal. I loved him. Ryuk was nearly perfect with a few small details, but the portrayal of him was great. They made him look perfect. They made him sound perfect. He even had a few lines from the anime. As I said, the phenomenal actor who portrayed him did an amazing job, and I hate to see that work was done in this film with all the other poor direction. Had they done a series and done episodes and kept it very close to the anime, changing the necessary things here and there, such as names and locations, this would have been a very successful thing for Netflix. Very. Because there's not much that makes this something that people can't relate to. There's not much there that makes this something that couldn't be largely successful in America. But, like with so many other adaptations, they changed the source material way too much. They changed the tone. They changed the atmosphere. They changed the characters. And it just didn't work. So just to give you my final thoughts on this, I think it was a fail. It saddens me greatly because the more fails we have of these anime adaptations, the less likely we're going to be able to get another. And the even more less likely that it's going to be something that people will invest in and get right. So with that said, as a fan, I know a million ways that they could have done this and made it work, but unfortunately they didn't go that route, just as with Dragon Ball and just as with Ghost in the Shell. So I'm interested to see what other fans of the series think. If you have thoughts that are different from mine, or if you agree with me, be sure to leave me some comments. This is one of my first videos. I've only done one other video, so this is going to be one of my first reviews again, and it's probably not perfect. I'm sure that you can notice plenty of flaws, but with that being said, try to give it a chance. And if you feel like you like the material, or maybe you think I'm doing an okay job, maybe give me a like. That'd be great. And if I can get enough views, I'll definitely keep making more videos similar to this. I have a lot of things that I want to review right now. So thanks for watching.